Hey, this episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Rabbit Hole Distillery and their original works of bourbon. This is the stuff that I've been sipping on for a while. This is their Cave Hill. What I love about Rabbit Hole is that they view bourbon as an artistic expression. They're fancy people, man. They're artists. A portfolio of one-of-a-kind mash bills using signature malted grains, and every one of their delicious small batch expressions is aged in charred and toasted barrels. Some people tout that they do that. They don't. They're liars. Rabbit Hole does. They just celebrated their 10-year anniversary, and unlike most brands, they've been making their own bourbon and rye expressions in Kentucky from day one. Day uno, baby, Kentucky. Even though they're a new brand, their founder and whiskey maker, Kaveh Zamanian. Am I saying it right? I'm trying my best. Kaveh Zamanian. Kaveh Zamanian. I'm trying. He was just inducted into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame this September. There's nothing else like this stuff on the market. Each of their expressions has won multiple awards. You can check them all out at rabbitholedistillery.com. I've been bragging about them for quite a while now. Cave Hill is one of my favorites. It is delicious. It's old school. It tastes smooth and it's chill filtered, just like it should be. They've got the Boxer Grail and the Derringer, of course, that's finished in those sherry casks. So how do I get this, Andrew? How do I try some of this stuff? It's available all over this great, beautiful country. You can go to rabbitholedistillery.com and check out where their locator is and go to Rabbit Hole Distillery, rabbitholedistillery.com/drizzly. Use that promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. That's rabbitholedistillery.com/drizzly. Use the promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. Jump down the rabbit hole with me. Drink responsibly. What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. We got a good one for you today. My man Bert Kreischer's on the show, the Machine, the shirtless wonder. Love him, very funny dude. Speaking of funny dudes, myself. Hey, watch my special on Netflix, Cheeseburger. Watch it right now. It's available everywhere in the world on Netflix. Please watch it, share it, talk about it, tell all your friends. Enough rambling from me. Let's go to the episode.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
Oh, that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It's the first time this gentleman has graced our presence on this show. Cannot believe it took this long. Two busy-bodied men. One of them touring the world, selling out amphitheaters, arenas, you name it. The other one, barely getting by in small theaters. It's Bert Kreischer, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming,
the fun
sir.
Of the small theater is the funnest part of the business. That's the best part of the business.
No, come on. You love the arenas.
No, I love the arenas. Don't get me wrong, but the most exciting part of my career was the leap to theaters. It was the most exciting. It was where everything was brand new. I put everything. I quantify everything in. I'm going through a big analogy phase today.
Yeah, let's get all the analogies out we can.
If a relationship, if your business is a relationship, then theaters is getting in her pants for the first time.
Oh.
It's that fucking like, oh shit, she's letting me. Like, this is cool.
Ooh.
And then you're like, oh, she's turned on too. Oh fuck, I think we might have sex. But you don't know if you're gonna have sex.
Right.
Hopefully having sex is arenas, and you're like, oh my God.
Arenas is anal, and you know that.
Yeah, arenas is anal.
That's when she opens up and goes, peel me apart. It's open air. Let's have a little bit of sip of something.
Please.
You didn't drink last night, so you feel good.
I feel fun. I mean, so crazy how good my Whoop recovery is 98%.
Dude, you're a Whoop god.
I love
you guys
Whoop.
are like Whoop to the top.
I love Whoop, and I'm paid to say it twice a year. Like, I'm paid to say.
So they pay you to do it on the pod.
Tom and I do sponsored ads. I think we have to do twice a year. At the very beginning of October and the very end of October, they are sponsors.
Okay.
But I wear it year round. I
you love
fucking love it. I love it. I'm a ride or die for them because it tells me how hard I mean, I could do a read for them right now, and I don't even need the copy. I don't even know what the fucking. We don't even have a call to action.
They're not my sponsors.
But they're pretty good. They say the best one. They say the best thing you can get to deal with your sleep is the Apple Watch.
Yeah, someone else said that to me too. There's also the ring, the
Yuva ring.
Nuva ring.
Oh, I think
Nuva's the one that girls. Nuva's the.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Nuva's the.
That'll help you sleep too, though. Cheers, brother. It's so good to
Cheers.
see you.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
Let's see if you like this. This is Rabbit Hole's finest. It's This is double chocolate malt cask strength.
Wow, I like it a lot.
Founders Collection, Kentucky
I
Bourbon,
like
limited
it a
edition.
lot.
The boys over at Rabbit Hole sent that to me because I said, you got to give me something better to have for Bert. I can't just have regular, even though I have some good stash over there.
You got a really good stash. I really like this setup.
Smooth and small and easy.
I like it. It's, I'm stuck on, this is a little inside baseball, but if you're a podcast fan, then you'd get it. I'm stuck on the days when we just needed an H6 and a camera.
Oh, yeah.
Those, because, and I say this because the investment was roughly around $1,200.
Just about, yeah, a couple grand.
A couple grand, and you had a podcast. And then once you got funding, I remember the first time I got a sponsor, it was, I want to say it was maybe it was $1,200 a read. Maybe it was left. Maybe it might have been $750 a read. And I did like 4 reads. And I thought to myself, I just paid off I'm making money now.
Making real
and it was
money.
such a fun, and every day I did a podcast and I had a one read, and I was like, I'm making money. It was the coolest, because in this business, you have to get crowned. That's the way this business used to run. You have to get crowned, and once you got crowned, then they'd let you make money, and they wouldn't even tell you when your money was showing up. You'd sign a deal, and you'd be like, so when do I get paid? And they're like, it's coming, it's coming.
Take it easy, man.
You didn't realize that your manager was getting the money, putting it in his account, waiting for the end of till the deal was over and giving it. It was such a sketchy fucking business. So much of this, that the second in this business we could make money for ourselves. And by the way, the coolest thing, I'll talk positive about Rogan forever, but he made sure it happened for everyone. Like he put everyone over.
Spread the love.
He spread the love, and he wasn't stingy with it. But I miss those days. I miss those days so much.
Simpler times. Huh?
That I have a hard time getting used to where we are today.
Right.
Like where you start adding employees, and then you start going, what the fuck?
Like the Big P that you brought.
Yeah, he's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. That kid.
Better than your wife or your kids?
But
me the
definitely
scale.
better than my kids. Definitely better than my kids. Those fucking chest weight vests.
All right, check this out. Gun to your head, and somebody's like, hey, man, your wife or P?
Oh, I mean, she's 52.
Yeah,
The
she's
kid's got a life ahead of him.
Right,
He's
he's a young
27.
boy,
He's fucking... get rid of her, and me and him run pussy up and down the fucking coast.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
I thought you were going to switch teams and go start fucking
no.
him.
No.
He's fuckable, though. He's a cute kid.
He looks like Jon Snow.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like Jon Snow, and he doesn't know it. He doesn't know that
he
he's a
can hear
good-looking
us right
kid.
now.
No, he can't hear us.
Okay.
But he's the best fucking guy in the world. He, for whatever reason, whatever happened to him in his childhood, he likes to take care of people. And I noticed that. I worked with him on Go Big Show.
Okay, yeah.
And
Are you doing that again?
No. And then one day we were shooting late, and I was walking back to my dressing room, and he said, "Hey, they already did dinner, and so I just ordered for you. I ordered from 3 different places, and I got you a mix. I figured you could sample a little bit." And he didn't know that I do that when I go out to eat by myself. That I order 3 meals.
You do?
Oh,
3
God.
entrees?
3 entrees.
And you just pick, but you just try all, and then the one you like the most you keep.
What I do? No, I just eat a little bit of each. I go. I'll eat.
I thought you were going to say I eat them all.
I have eaten them all. That's how I started gaining weight. I was definitely ordering 2, and so I sat down, and it was great. It was shrimp. It was a shrimp skewers, which was fucking awesome. It was Mediterranean food, and it was a burger. And I was like, this kid thinks the way I think. And then when I needed an assistant, they were like, "Do you have any ideas?" I go, "There's this kid in Atlanta that I'll reach out to him and see if he wants a job." And he came out. He moved out and lived with me in my tour bus. Didn't even have a house for like fucking 6 months. Just lived in my tour bus. What? And then we get him a hotel when he was here. And now he lives out here full time. He's the fucking greatest. And I'll lose him.
Yeah,
I'll
you
lose
will.
him.
Well,
He's too good. He's too good.
I may snag him
Yeah, someone's gonna snag him.
because he's good like that.
He's smart, and he works hard, and he thinks about other people first, and he's never once gotten upset. He doesn't get too drunk. The other night we were doing edible roulette, where we put edibles in a basket full of gummies.
Yeah.
On the bus, Maddie Smith was with us. She was like, "I say we do edible roulette." So we had other gummies. So we threw these things in. It was 10 milligram gummies.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty
Not
strong,
bad.
yeah. And so we put them in, we shake them up, and we all go in. We all grab one. And no, you had to close your eyes. And then you put it in your mouth. And the second it went in Pete's mouth, he goes, I got an edible. And then it's in my mouth. I go, you can taste it? And then I taste it. I go, I got an edible too. And Maddie's like, I did too. And Moses Storm's like, I got one. And so all four of us, and there were other people that picked them, and they're like, we didn't get him. And then Maddie goes, oh, I misread the package.
What?
She goes, they're 100 milligrams.
Shut the fuck up.
I
Holy shit.
I swear to God. And Pete just goes, I'm going to my bunk, guys. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Didn't say a word, didn't get angry, got in his bunk, went to sleep, woke up the next morning. He goes, I'm still a little high, but let's get some shit done. And I fucking got in my bunk like I was time traveling. You ever see that Chris Pratt movie when everyone goes to sleep but he wakes up early?
Yeah.
I woke up in the middle of the night like Chris Pratt, walking around going, do I wake someone up and force them to be in this hell with me? Or do I just fucking die by myself?
Die by yourself, baby.
Oh.
Be a soldier. Die alone.
Joey Diaz was in one of those.
Take the hit, cocksucker. Die alone.
Joey Diaz, we did. So I'm sorry, Joey, if this isn't a story you want shared, but this is such a good story. It's such a good story. So Joey Diaz, we all go to do the first night of Fully Loaded, and Joey Diaz eats a ton of mushrooms. And I go, hey, Joey, we're getting in the bus. I mean, it's going to be, are you sure? Yeah, cocksucker, I'll be fine.
It's a long ride, huh?
It was a 7-hour ride in the
No,
bus.
dude.
And he's on mushrooms.
No!
And he's a bigger guy. He's got a sleep mask. So he really is like Chris Pratt in that movie. He's got the mask on. He's in the bunk. And all I just hear is I hear, pull the bus over, cocksucker. I'm done. Get me a fucking hotel room. He's like, I can't do it. And then we go sit up front, sit in the front seat. And he sits in the front seat and he goes, it's fucking It's terrifying to sit in the front seat of a bus in a jump seat.
It's not fun.
It's terrifying.
Not fun. You think you're going to die at all times.
Yeah, and then you look at your bus driver who's on the phone FaceTiming with some fucking chick, and he's like, hey, yeah, yeah, it was
Getting the rumble strips.
but that's how good that he is. He didn't even get
See, I don't like getting too high on edibles and trying to lay down. I have to live alive with it. Because people that can go to sleep, no way. When I lay down on edibles, I feel like honestly, dude, I always feel like I'm tilting or tipping. And it feels like I'm on like, you know the moment you lay down on a water slide? You know what I'm talking about? The moment you lay down and it goes over the edge, that's how I feel the whole fucking time. Like I'm continually being pushed over the edge and pulled back and pushed over the edge.
It's a very good, by the way, I'm
giving you analogies.
I rode water slides for a living, for Travel Channel. I rode roller coasters and water slides for a living.
Yeah.
And there is a moment when you, especially on a steep water slide, when you lay back, you let go. You go, I'm out of control. I will be going as fast as this body can go. Yeah. And there was one we did in Butler, Ohio, where you went and they shot you up in the air.
That's awesome.
And so they were like, I think you went face first.
Cedar Rapids?
No, Butler, Ohio. It's actually not a park. It's an adventure camp where kids go there to learn to skateboard,
like Woodward?
BMX, and so it's fun as fuck. But they had this slide, and it teaches you how to control your body in the air. And you would go on your stomach, and I was like, oh, I just want to sit. And they're like, don't sit, because if you sit, you're gonna flip back, you're gonna land on your head.
Yeah.
They go on your stomach, and I was like, yeah, but I can't control my speed. And they're like, that's not how it works. I did one time. We jumped off an arch, the Corona Arch, I think, in Moab, and what they had done is the arch is, I'll see if I can do this right. It's like this, right? Or it's like this kind of, and then this is a big mountain, and you climb up it, and you get here, and then they have a rope here that loops under here.
Right, so you swing
and then
way.
you tie onto the rope, and you dive, and you swing under, right?
Right.
So I'm putting on a helmet, because in case I get hurt, and the dude looks at me, Creighton Baird, he goes, don't put on the helmet. I said, huh?
Who is this guy?
He's the expert. And he goes, if something goes wrong, just die. I said, what? He goes, you don't want to have a head injury, get hurt, and be waiting for 4 hours as they try to get out to you.
Be a vegetable while you feel a helicopter coming.
You don't want that in your life. Just go. Just go.
Take the hit.
Take the helmet off. And I was like, I'm wearing the helmet because I have a bald spot.
That's why.
So I was like, I don't want to look bald. It's my baddest moment ever.
Right. When you're all crippled and they're like, Jesus, I didn't know he was that bald.
But yeah, he's a gangster. He didn't complain at all. We all ate 100 milligrams. What's funny is when Maddie said that, Moses Storm was eating a second one, thinking they were only 10 milligrams.
Dude, is this kid off his head?
Have you never met Moses?
No. But I mean, what is he doing? If he ate one, stop. Why would you eat
Maddie
another
goes, well, I can't let you go alone. She ate another one.
No!
Dude, they ate so much marijuana. It was fucking, and we laughed. We laughed so hard.
Did you ever have any moments of shakiness where you're like, I'm too high, I'm too high, I'm too high?
So what I do in those moments is I just outdrink it. So alcohol's driving.
Yeah,
You can always trust alcohol.
You're right though. This is our cocaine for guys like you and me. Like a lot of people will do a bump of coke to like center themselves. I'll do a little bit of whiskey or something, and I'll go, all right, I know where I am again.
Even when I have anxiety, and when we did Sober October, I noticed Joe and I both noticed we were texting back and forth a lot that my anxiety was gone. It was gone entirely, and I was like, that's fucking crazy. And then when I started drinking again, and I started very slow, oddly enough, I drank a couple times. It was my birthday weekend right after Sober October. And then I went back on the wagon for like 17 days. And because I was finding I was very happy. And then I went on the road and I was like, I went on the road after I did my special and I was like, you're writing new material. It's got to feel like a party. You got to really enjoy it. It can't feel like work. You got to be able to smoke weed and drink after the show. You got to enjoy yourself. And then that's when we had the 100 milligrams. But this, sometimes it rights the boat without even a buzz. Yeah. Like you get to the airport and you're like, I don't feel good, man. That was a long night. I'm tired. I'm feeling sketchy. And then everyone's like, anyone want a Bloody Mary? And you're like, yeah, I guess. And then all of a sudden you're like, you can just hear it go, tss, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm good to get on the plane. I can get on the plane. Yeah. I don't even need a ton sometimes. Like the other night, I had one double Jack on the Rocks in the first class. Like I don't drink in the airports anymore, or I try not to. And so I had one on the plane, and it just calmed it down, and I passed out, and I sat for the whole flight, and I was like, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Because you still got anxiety on flights.
Yeah, bad.
That's crazy.
I wish I could get rid of it.
After all these years. Do privates make you feel weirder? Because they're tiny.
Fucking
dude.
Horrible.
Are you flying commercial at all anymore? Say no.
Yeah, no, I fly commercial. I have a hard time. I have a deal. This is going to sound... Hang on, let me...
I have a deal. Sip with the pinky up before you say that. I have a deal.
I have a deal with my business manager that technically, if I fly commercial out, I can fly private home. Because that's the flight home you want. That's the private flight you want.
Sure.
Round trip's more expensive, or is less expensive if it's a day trip, if you're in and out, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. But on my flight home, I can always fly private if I want to, usually. I mean, I would never pay to go from fucking Bangor, Maine to LA. That's
deep.
Insane.
That's deep.
$85,000 to fly from Alaska to LA. I'm never going to do that. Never going to do that. I'll fly a connecting commercial flight through whatchamacallit into Burbank. It's like so much nicer. But I can. But I still don't, because I have a hard time. I know I can afford to do it on most flights, but I have a hard time because I just go, but that's like one of my kids' tuition. Like that I'll never be that guy that can't see, or I could just buy a car when I get home. Yeah. Like that is so fucked up to me. So I have a hard time doing it, but I have done it. I really.
But how many more years of kids' tuition do you really have?
2 more. Well, technically, 2 more. I guess Georgia's going to have 3 more years of college, 4 more years of college.
She's going to make it through.
I don't think Isla's going to go to college. I think we'll invest in a business for her.
Yeah.
You
get her something.
Making dream catchers in fucking Santa Fe. She'll be.
Is that her shit? Is she like that?
She's very artistic, and she's very, she's just a different kid. She was never the kid. She's not going to be a doctor. She's not going to be a doctor. She's not going to be a lawyer. You
Neither
don't want her
were we.
to.
That's what the good thing was. Our parents were like, these guys are going to be something fun.
Yeah. She would never be a comedian. She would make a great comedian. Only because the way her brain thinks is so bizarre.
Like Theo?
Honestly, yeah. Like Theo, I got to be honest with you. I could do this for days, but I was at ground zero when Theo started becoming Theo. Like meaning like when everyone started realizing how funny he was, I was there like, I want to say 2 years before. It was when we did Reality Bites Back with Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
And motherfucker, me, Amy Schumer, and Chris Fairbanks, each of us were like, there's something special about this dude.
Special is right.
Like the way his brain works is so fucking off center.
Yeah.
That you couldn't help but go, honestly, is it a bit?
In here, we pour whiskey, whiskey.
Hey, do you have unwanted subscriptions? Stuff that you're like, why am I paying for that? How long have I been paying for that? I had that, and boy, oh boy, was it stupid. A huge waste of money. That's why I want to tell you about Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. It's a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. All in one place. It's incredible. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, myself included. I'm sure it's you too. Like that streaming service you bought to watch just one stupid show on. All right? It was one show on Disney Plus. I never wanted to watch anything else again. Just Mulan or that free trial that you never even used. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you. You can stop paying for the ones that you don't want. It's incredible. The average person saves about $720 a year. Your boy saved, I think it was $300 in subscriptions that I was pawning off money to for no reason. I got tricked. I got duped. I got bamboozled, and I did not like it. If you are somebody who has subscriptions, I promise you there are ones that you are not using, you don't know about, and you're probably paying for. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person $720, like I said. You got to try it. You have to use it. If you're someone that's a subscription-based person, which we all are now, try it out and see if it can help you clear up your subscription services and lower your bills and monthly payments for life. Stop throwing your money away, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and manage your expenses in the easiest way by going to rocketmoney.com/whiskey. That's rocketmoney.com/whiskey, rocketmoney.com/whiskey. Hey, this episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/whiskey and get on your way to being your best self. I want to tell you, I've been talking about online therapy for a long time. I don't know how you guys like to get help, but BetterHelp is incredible at trying to make you be at your best. You're thinking about giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. I enjoy talking to someone from the comfort of my own home, my bathtub. Sometimes I do it from my backyard. Sometimes I do it on a little walk, on a little jaunt in the neighborhood. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and it's entirely done on the internet. You fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So my whole thing is I don't want to wait in line somewhere. I don't want to go to an office. I don't want to be under weird, bright lights other than doing this show. I would rather be comfortable when I'm speaking to someone privately about my issues and what I'm going through. And if that's something that's interesting to you, but you were threatened by therapy because you didn't want to go somewhere, well, hey, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. How do you give it a try? Here's the deal. Here's how you get BetterHelp. You go to betterhelp.com/whiskey today. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/whiskey today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/whiskey.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Like, is it a bit or is it him? Like, you could, like, and then you're like,
I think they've blended.
I think, yeah, I
Now
think
they're one and
that's.
the
I think he's become. I think he stifled a lot of his personality earlier in his career, earlier in his life. But I think now he's who he is. I think he's brilliant. I love that guy.
I love him to death, dude. My dad.
We got high and did those. We did Theoisms on the bus. Shit, where I grew up, we had 2 muskrats that fought a squirrel, and they got a guy paid $5 to let you watch it. He had a hat made out of tin. That guy was crazy. You know, we got struck by lightning twice.
Get out, bro. Fucking my dude, this is crazy, man. My brother-in-law, and I didn't even have a sister, but this dude I knew next door to me, he used to eat scrap metal for dinner. For real. They'd heat it up. Like his logic is illogical. That's why it's perfect. Wait, I need some advice from you, by the way.
Shoot.
Me and the little noodle are going to take a bus tour for Bad Friends this of 2023.
I love it.
Give me the definitely do's and definitely don'ts for the bus.
When are you doing it?
March, April is the tour. All of March, all of April.
Oh, wow.
What are we talking?
So
no shitting on the bus.
Okay, so who's coming with you? You bringing the whole crew?
No, so it's going to be me, Bob, Juicy, Jetski, the comic. Do you know her? Do you know Jetski Johnson? Juicy Jetski Johnson?
Just saw her on Instagram today.
Fucking awesome.
I'm going to say 2 things. I saw her name like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in. I'm in.
Jet ski.
I don't even know anything about her. I'm in.
Yeah.
Today I saw her do stand up on Instagram and I fucking laughed out loud and I went, fuck, she's good. Like
She's very
yeah,
funny.
she's funny.
And she's got her own style, which is very cool. The cool part about her is like her vibe is very unique. It's her
Yeah.
own thing. It's extremely organic. Like it's not put on. But so it's going to be her, 2 members of our Bad Friends production, and then 2 videographers and 1 sound guy because we want to film the whole fucking thing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So
I would do, for number 1, I would do a crew bus, like all tour bunks, all bunks. Don't do
Yeah.
a star coach. Do all bunks, all sleep on the bus, all live on the bus.
yeah.
It's favored nations in that way, and what will happen is, and this is what I did when we did Fully Loaded, and when we did Hot Summer Nights is when I came up with it. Is I was like, if you're all living on the bus, then first of all you save money. Everyone lives on the bus, you save money.
Yeah.
And then it becomes very affordable. The second everyone starts getting hotels, and you can get hotels here and there, but the second everyone starts getting hotels, then a bus doesn't even make sense. Just fucking fly.
Yeah.
That's my this, and by the way, this is the way I do it. Everyone stays in the bunks. Everyone lives on the bus. Every now and then, you can get a crew hotel. You can get meaning we'll get a hotel for the night if you guys need to shower, clean up.
Yeah, that's
if you
what I
wanna
figured we would do, yeah.
yeah. But if the second you get everyone hotels, it's a fucking nightmare. And then everyone disappears, and you're like, what do we even have the bus for? Why don't we just get a fucking van? Have everyone on the bus. I would be turning out content daily. Do you have an editor on the bus?
We're going to have someone that's doing it there and dumping footage back to LA.
So long as you have someone there who can do promos for the shows that need help,
Yeah.
because that was the game changer on Fully Loaded. Is we brought 2 editors. We brought so to piggyback, and they slept during the day, and when we drove, they edited at night all the video we shot, and we would we increased ticket sales on every venue just because our output. Every video we put had at least 1 million views, and it was all about the next night, where we were going the next night, how much fun we were having in the city before, what we did after the show, all the stuff, and we were posting on Instagram, and it drove ticket sales. We set record attendance in every ballpark we did. So that's the key. Is I look at it from business of like, have them working and turning out videos to promote the upcoming shows. Live on the bus, and where you and are you staying on the bus the whole time? Or are you flying back in and out?
We stay on for the majority of the time. We take 1 big break, have to come home and do a bunch of stuff because filming
Yeah.
something, and then go back out again.
Film everything. You're gonna have the best time of your life.
Yeah, we can't wait.
You're gonna
I mean,
have
it's
the
going to be,
best
we
time
already
of your
got into a
life.
couple fights already, which is me and Bobby for sure, but
Bobby's gonna be tough.
trust me, I know. He's going to get a hotel every time.
Yeah, and,
There's no doubt in my
well, you
fucking
got to make sure that like Joey. I mean, I'll say this. I told when we did Fully Loaded, I said, anyone needs a hotel, I'll get you a hotel.
Sure.
If you don't want to live on the bus, you don't have to live on the bus. I'll get you a hotel. And there were people that definitely were like, it's not my vibe. Joey would be like, dog. David Tell, I'm in a hotel. He'd get on the bus, drive with us to the next city, but he wanted a hotel for the day, and I totally get it. Not everyone's me, where I want to be in the thick of it all times. Shane Gillis, I want to be in the thick of it. At Nikki Glazer, fucking Mark Norman, Big J Okerson, in the thick of it. But
Yeah.
you just respect everyone's boundaries and go, yeah, I get it. And then, God, you're gonna have so much fucking fun. Are you getting wrapped?
Well, we were thinking about it, but
Hold
then
on,
I said,
stop.
my only worry is
Stop.
people are going to
The
see your
answer is-
fucking shit. Aren't they going to come up to you and bug the
No,
bus? They don't come up to the
it's
bus.
just fans, and it's not a pain in the ass. What you'll notice is like it's worse than people. It's made out to be worse than it is. What'll happen is you'll notice it'll be cool moments. Like I remember this dude one time we were in Knoxville, and we're sitting in the bus. We're all bullshitting. It's like 4:00, and I see this dude out with his daughter and his wife, and he's out standing outside my bus with his shirt off getting a picture. So I go, oh, fuck it. So I sneak around the corner, I have my shirt off, and I go, hey man, no pictures by the bus. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then his eyes light up, he loses his shit, and then his daughter starts crying, and she goes, he loves you. We can't make it to the show tonight. We have to go to a prior engagement, but he made us drive all the way in here just to get. Those moments are fucking worth it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's promotion. When you drive into the city,
People see it.
people see it and they're going to sell tickets for shows. You will get people after the shows knocking on the door, and you say no. Just say, "Ah, man, this is my home. You can't come into my home." But I would rap it, and I would make the rap so obnoxiously loud that it's a joke. Don't try to be cool. Make it obnoxiously loud.
Yeah, ours is. Our
and
faces.
fucking rap it with Bobby half naked laying all the way down the bus. I'm telling you, because what'll happen is bus drivers will take pictures. Everyone will take pictures of that bus.
Yeah, that's true.
And then all their friends, they'll post it to social media. Look at these lunatics driving next to me. Right. And it all sells tickets. I mean, there's a method to the madness, and then there's straight madness. I believe in the madness also. But, like, I would definitely wrap it.
All right, we're going to fucking wrap it. And we have pictures of him and I in lingerie. So
I would wrap it, and then I would sell the back part to someone's podcast.
To somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, I did it. I did it for my wife, and Rogan mocked me forever.
Wait, you put her podcast?
My whole rap's on the thing, and on the back where all the smut comes, I put wife of the party.
So
and
funny.
She was like,
it her face?
It's her face. It's on the butt of the ass of our bus.
She's the butt of your bus.
Yeah. She's
the butt of your jokes.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun.
Can't wait.
You're gonna have a blast, man. Oh, I'm fucking jealous.
Well, I mean, you live this life. This is your whole fucking thing. You're never not on tour, right? I mean, how did you even find time to go do that fucking movie?
What was during the quarantine?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. The question is the next one. That's the tough fucking sell.
Machine 2.
No. The next movie I do is like trying to carve out time when you know more than probably anyone what a movie pays versus what the road pays.
Yeah, it's not even.
It's not.
It doesn't
almost,
pay. Is what
but
the answer is. It doesn't pay.
And it almost makes it to the point where like if you said it to your dad, he'd be like, "Why do you do it? Why would you do a movie?"
Well, yeah, it's hard to describe. It's because because you're like, it's Bobby and I still have that. Bobby still has that old Hollywood thing where it's like he just wants to do stuff, and I always liked making shit, TV and film.
Yeah, well, you're really good at it.
Grazie.
Like you are legit so good on camera that I go, yeah, that makes sense. You have an opportunity to be a huge movie star. For the majority of us, just it's just tarpon fishing.
Yeah,
it's like you can't eat the tarpon. You just land it and then put it back in the water. Maybe get a picture with it. Like you're going legit tuna fishing every time you go out. You're like, oh shit, let's cut it up on the boat with some sashimi. And I'm banging out analogies right now.
I know, I like it so much.
Killing these analogies.
Which, by the way, you're a big Florida guy. You're a boat guy. Nothing like catching fresh fish, cutting that bitch up on the boat, eating it right there. I got the fucking hiccups.
It wasn't. We didn't do that in Florida.
You never did that shit? Why?
You couldn't in Florida. Our fish aren't. There are fish you can't just cut up and eat.
Really?
You're not doing that with Spanish mackerel.
What's wrong with mackerel?
It's just a shit fish. It's like a shit fish. And
but
you're not doing it with barracuda. I think the most of the shit you can catch.
Swordfish.
Swordfish. I don't think you can catch swordfish in Tampa.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of definitely not swordfish. Yeah, swordfish. No,
I don't know where swordfish. Where do they live?
Swordfish are in. I think they're in Hawaii, and they do bait runs where you can get in the water with them, and they swim around the bait fast as fucking shit.
I see that.
But like that's where you can do that is Hawaii, where you can do that. You can't. A note to the listener: you definitely can't do that with salmon. Don't ever think you can catch a salmon and cut it up on your fucking boat and eat it. There are worms in salmon, and you have to freeze that. You have to flash freeze it first, and then let it thaw to kill those worms to eat it. Don't ever eat salmon raw. That is if you take one thing away from this.
Because you've done it.
No, I had a friend do it.
And Bad News Bears.
Very sick for a very long time. And Rogan, the worst one is Rogan had on Rogan's podcast. Steve Rinella was talking about a guy who they were all camping, and the guy caught a salmon. And everyone else caught trout, so they were cooking it by the fireplace. So he catches a salmon, right? Flays it up, butter, lemon, pepper, puts it in the fucking wrap, puts it over the thing, starts eating it. And as he's eating it, he's like, "What the fuck?" And it's worms crawling all out of it.
Bro.
And he said he just tried to throw up. He just killed like a bunch of whiskey and just to kill the fucking worms and throw up. And it still made him sick as fucking shit. Don't ever eat salmon. But fucking tuna, I did it with.
Tuna's straight. Tuna.
I did it with tuna. I did it with. I might have done it. Actually, I did it with something in Costa Rica, but it's the coolest thing in the world. I remember hearing about it for the first time, the same way I heard about playing with a girl's tits, and I was like, I would love to do that. I was in 7th grade, and I was like, well, you can play with her tits, and they're like, that's part of the thing.
Name the girl in 6th or 7th grade who had the biggest tits. First name. I don't have to have her last name.
Julie.
Natalie.
Oh.
Everybody, dude, it was insane. It's like 5th grade when we got to junior high. The moment we all got there, everybody was like, what the fuck happened? What happened this summer?
My buddy John was dating her. And I remember thinking, he may be the way you look at a millionaire and go, God, man, that would be nice.
That'd be so
right?
cool.
I wouldn't mind being a millionaire. That'd be cool. And then you're like, I would love to play with tits. I would love to play with her tits. And I was like, I could never get those tits. Those tits will never be mine.
It's better than me.
Yeah.
And now you're a millionaire and you get to play with.
And my wife has the best tits.
She does.
She has the best.
There's a picture right here. Put right here the picture right here. Of his wife's tits, please.
Someone please Photoshop it and just. But I can describe my wife's tits.
Here we go.
My wife's got Selma Hayek's tits.
That's good. That's great.
When I saw
teardroppy,
vanilla, a little teardroppy. But
Yeah.
when I saw Vanilla Sky, and she got naked, I went, "Those are her tits." I actually got
Leanne, your tits are on TV.
I got a lap dance from a girl that had my wife's tits the other day, and I was with all the people I work with. Maybe this is a bad story to tell.
No, it's
we were at the Alaskan Bush Company, and this girl came by, and I said to one of my buddies, I go, "She has Leanne's tits. Those are Leanne's tits." And he was like, "Oh, 3-way lap dance." So we got fucking 3 strippers and all got lap dances from him, and I was like, "Keep staying over here. You got my wife's tits."
She's like, "I'm Crystal. You're Leanne." You should have been like, "I want a picture of your tits to send to my wife."
I forget
You
her
want some more?
name. Oh yeah. I'll take another one.
Sheila. Her name was Sheila.
No, her dad was in the military. I learned a lot about the strippers.
How do you know so much about these women?
I listen. I talk. I'm not.
I don't love strip clubs.
Oh, I love them.
See, you know what's so funny? I like if I can smoke a cigar and like hang with people. I like if it's a crew, right?
Yeah, I don't go by myself.
No, but you know what I mean. Sometimes a couple
I have
guys
gone by myself.
Yes,
when I was younger,
we all have.
When I was younger, I would go by myself in Umbros and be like, just try to take my pants off with your butt.
I just think it's like one of those things where it's got to be a big crew. I mean, I'm saying it's got to be like a party for me. It can't be like if it's me and 1 or 2 other dudes. I'm like, I want it to be a lot of people, so it's it's like part of the show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're all doing the thing.
They brought me on stage. I took my you
didn't take your shirt off.
Of course I did. I ruined strip clubs now. I've ruined strip clubs for a long time because I was there was two parts of my career. One when I was on Perth Conqueror, the television roller coaster thing.
Yeah.
All the strippers' kids watched it. Me and Brett Ernst went to a strip club, and they were like, "Oh,
my son loves you.
Do you mind if I get a picture?" And I was like, "Sure, I don't mind." And because I definitely wasn't taking pictures with people at the time. And then they'd put on all their clothes and go outside and take a picture. And Brett goes, "You're the fucking worst. Everyone's putting their fucking clothes on to take a picture with you." And then this last one, they didn't even put their clothes on. I got a bunch of pictures with strippers, and they're like, it was. By the way, for the record, pictures in strip clubs you can do that now. Apparently,
that's a thing.
No one gives a fuck. I have not gone to a strip club where someone didn't take a picture with me in a while. It's been. Yeah.
That's great. I thought every time I've ever been, I always think they make such a fucking big deal about phones.
No.
Sometimes they would come
filming
around.
the girls.
Well, yeah.
But like they would, and I'm assuming taking pictures of. But I've never had a problem. People have always taken pictures of me, and I just didn't know what to do with it.
My cousin, for a while, was running the gambit, working in strip clubs, and he would always, whenever I went to Vegas, he'd be like, "Come, come hang out."
Yeah.
It's so funny to be that side of the...
Wait, is it a boy or a girl?
It's dude. He was a DJ.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But like, it's so funny to be on that side.
Like that would be weird to see your cousin naked. You're like,
Oh yeah, no.
you're like, no, you look good. Technically, you're. My wife said, "Yeah, you're kin, but you ain't blood. Go ahead, go home, go home. Come on back."
It's funny to see it from that side because I see him go and he DJs, and it's like, it's just wild to be inside baseball because then the girls treat you like they would if they met you out at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's like I have that angle in, but also I'll go there later, and then if they don't know that that's my cousin, they think they treat you like a customer. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get to play both sides of the ball. It's kind of fucking wild to watch and how they treat you differently. It's so interesting. And then the shit that they'll tell you about which customers, because they'll all be candid. I'd be like, well, like, who are you fishing for? She's like, oh, we're both picking on this guy right here. And like, they know exactly what they can get out of it. Dude, they are fucking snipers. So those girls, the veterans in that game they know exactly what they can get out of certain guys. Dude, it's impressive as shit.
There was a hot Puerto Rican one in Vegas that, man, as a pro, like I grew up in Florida, so strip clubs are different for us in Florida. Yeah. And that we ended every night at a strip club, like meaning girls and guys. Like West Palm, if you went out in West Palm, everyone ended up at there's a strip club there that we'd all just go to. Yeah. And everyone went there, the girls, and it was party, and you get lap dances, but like chicks would get lap dances with you. It wasn't like a big deal. And in Tampa, that's the strip club capital of the world. I mean, the second you turned 18, that's what you did. Before you were 18, you had fake IDs to go to strip clubs. They never checked. And so like as a pro of a strip club, I got taken for so much money.
What's the most you've ever dropped at a titty bar?
Well, that's not fair. The most I've ever dropped where it mattered was
before you got money.
$1,500.
That's a fuckload.
Before
you have money, that's a shitload of money.
It was 1999 in New York at Scores.
I was just gonna say it had to have been Scores.
And I had money. I had some money from like TV. Maybe it's 2000, probably 2000. I had money from TV, but not a lot. And we went to a strip club, and Chris Rock someone had just done a champagne room joke, right? There's nothing happened to this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never even heard of a champagne. They didn't have that in Florida because in Florida, literally, it was like fucking no holds barred. I mean, it was like there was no champagne room. It was lap dances. It was full touch. It was full nudity. It was full alcohol. It was everything.
Everything is a champagne room.
Everything was a champagne room. And then when you go there, you're like, oh, so I just want what happens in Florida in the champagne room. And man, the time just got away from me. and nothing happened. I didn't fuck her. I didn't come in my pants. I didn't fucking play with her tits. It was just a different room where you just paid tons of money. And we were talking, and then all of a sudden the bill came, and I was like, I remember being like, do you take credit card? And my buddies had gotten in there, and I was like, I got everyone. And it was just a fucking nightmare. But even like we went in Vegas, and the thing I like to do in a strip club, especially like I went with a big TV guy. I won't say the city or the TV guy's name, but I went with the big TV guy's son.
Tyler Perry's kid. Go ahead.
Tyler Perry's kid and I were in Louisiana, and he said, hey man, my son's coming to your show. Can you keep an eye out for him? And I said, yeah. If it's okay, can you bring him backstage? I go, I'll tell you what, if you're cool with it, I'll take him out, we'll party. And he's like, he will fucking love it. It's the only reason I know this guy is because his son's a fan. He told his dad, yo, you got to do a show with this guy. His dad's a pretty big dude. And so I take him out. So I take him out, and it was a gangster move. And this is what I usually do in a strip club. Went over to the manager and I said, here's $1,000. Can you have girls just keep everyone company over there? I don't need lap dances. Just let everyone, make sure as many girls as that takes care of for the evening, for the next 5 songs, 10 songs, have them keep company. If it's like, just make sure all those guys are all in college, make sure they feel like they're studs.
Yeah.
And he's like, gotcha. So I give him $1,000, and they stayed the whole night. These girls were fucking awesome. They were beautiful. And they were like, do you want a lap dance? I'm like, I'm good. If anyone wants a lap dance, they can pay for it themselves. But like, just stay around. And we drank. We had a good time. And that's my normal move.
That's Uncle Bert. That's Uncle Bert.
What I do that every time. I like to go up, eat Mark Norman's bachelor party. I was just going up. I give people $100.
Hey, we were good boys. We didn't do anything wrong.
I give a stripper $100. I go, give him 4 dances. And she'd be like, done. And then just go grab them, because that's the way you want to get a lap dance. Someone pays for it.
Sure.
And then you're like, whoa. Okay. He did it. And so that was happening at Alaska Bush Company, is I was just doing it for everyone. I'd go, my cameraman, I did it for Pete. I did it for everyone. I just go up to a stripper. Here's $100. Grab one of the guys.
Have you, nothing for you though?
No, I do a lap dance every now and then.
You do?
Yeah. Like it's got to be fun for me. Like, because I'm not, because usually I'm doing it with a big group, so you got to have like a little bit of decor about you.
Yeah, couth.
So like, I'll tell you this is a perfect lap dance. This is maybe my favorite lap dance ever. We're at, I think it's Christie's in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I mean,
Fort Wayne, Indiana. I mean, I want to give the name a proper shout out because they were so cool. They come to my show.
Fort Wayne,
Indiana.
I'm gonna look it up while you say it.
Hey, he wasn't with us.
I know.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, you know what I'm not a fan of? I'm not a fan of stiff dress shirts. I hate that. Sometimes when I go back to my dad's house, I rifle through his closet and I see all these old starchy shirts as if they've been dried outside in the freezing cold. And that was the old dress shirts. That style is dead, baby. Now with MIZZEN in Maine, you can look like a sleek, sexy, cool, comfortable dude all at once. That's why you got to check out MIZZEN in Maine, the inventors of the performance fabric dress shirt. They combine the comfort and flexibility of your favorite athletic wear with the fit and style of a custom dress shirt. Lightweight, breathable, moisture wicking, by the way. MIZZEN in Maine's clothing will have you looking great. Basically, they make really comfortable shirts, dress shirts that you need to try to actually believe. I can tell you firsthand, MIZZEN in Maine dress shirts are actually the best dress shirts I've ever worn. They're by far the most comfortable. They sent me golf shirts as well, stuff that you can wear out with friends. You can wear it to an office, a meeting, work, out to a bar, on a little date, or you can get a little jogging. If you're at night and you're like, you know what? I bet you I could run in this dress shirt. You can. They're machine washable. That means no more expensive trips to the dry cleaner. It's incredible. I love MIZZEN and Main. I really appreciate them fitting up your boy because when I want to look snazzy, I throw on one of those at a nice dinner. When I want to look sloppy, I wear what I'm always wearing. If you don't wear dress shirts, don't wear MIZZEN and Main. You're making a big mistake, all right? I have a bunch of them, and they're so comfortable, so delicious, so wonderful on your body. If you want the best cold weather clothing, check out MIZZEN and Main right now. If you go to MIZZENandMain.com, use the promo code Whiskies, you're going to receive $25 off any regular price order of $130 or more. That's $25 off when you go to MIZZENANDMAIN.com. Use that promo code, baby, Whiskey. Hey, you got feet, right? Even if you don't, I bet you still like looking at shoes. And let me tell you something. VESSI shoes are so comfortable. They're incredible. I just got my pair sent to me from VESSI, and I slipped them right on, and they're a game changer, baby. I've been wearing VESSI shoes now around the crib, out in the backyard to play with the pup, and they're so easy, slip on and off, so comfortable. They're probably the best shoes that I've ever worn. All the features of a rubber winter boot built into a sneaker. 100% waterproof, not water resistant. Waterproof, baby. Water ain't getting in. Where you at, water? You're not getting in. They have a lug rubber outsole that gives you extra grip in wet conditions. I like juking with the dog in the backyard. An added lining inside for extra warmth in the cold. They slip on and off. It's quick and easy. And you know me, I like slipping on stuff. Okay, if it's complicated, I ain't gonna wear it. All right, I'm not doing it. I want it easy as I can. And that Dymatex super soft knit material that keeps your feet warm in the cold, cool in the warmer months, doesn't feel like it should be waterproof, but guess what? It is. It doesn't feel heavy, and it's not. That's why I love VESSI. They're smooth and sleek and small. They're very comfortable. They're very easy to slide on, and they're waterproof, and they're very durable. They also have many other styles of shoes to choose from, but they're my favorite. I leave them by the front door, and I take them in and out when I take the pup out. Check them out in the link, vessi.com/whiskey, for a pair of your own VESSI shoes. Click the vessi.com /whiskey. Use my code Whiskey for 15% off your entire order. Free shipping to CAUS, AU, JP, TW, KR, SGP. Thank you again, VESSI. Use my code Whiskey for 15% off your first entire order. Free shipping to CAUS, OS, NZ, JP, TW, KR, and SGP. Go get some VESSIs.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Dude, you should do a Bert travels to titty bars across the country.
We don't do it enough. It's just I have such a fun time at those places because everyone's inhibitions are gone.
Yeah.
The second you walk in, everyone's inhibitions are gone. You're like, fuck it. We're having a good time. And usually what will happen is like they'll hit us up at the show and be like, yo, if you guys want to come through, and this will come through in a second. This is my favorite one. Manager and some girls come to the show. They come to do the meet and greet. This is back when I did meet and greets and you do raffle tickets for meet and greets. And they're like, yo, we have a great strip club. Why don't you guys come through? And it was the last night of our tour and we were driving home. And so I was like, you got fuck it. And it started snowing. I was like, do you guys want to just go to a strip club? And they're like, yeah. So we go there. And I do the same thing. I throw money around. I make sure that all the girls are paid and all the guys are getting dances, right. And make it rain a couple times on stage. Right. Have fun. It's minimal money. It's minimal money to have a really great time for everyone. For everyone.
Yeah.
So then I'm talking to the manager, and a girl comes by, and it's snowing, so she's in full fucking winter gear, and she goes, "Holy shit, you're Bert Kreischer?" And I went, "Yeah." She goes, I was supposed to go see you tonight, but I had to fucking work. And I was like, oh, I'll be back, I'm sure, again soon. And she goes, oh my God. I wish I'd known you were coming here. I wouldn't have cut early. I would love to have given you a lap dance. And I said, actually.
Good news.
Good news is I have a joke about this that I've been working on that's never worked. Because my problem with strip clubs is that they're already almost naked. Yeah. But that's not reality. So like if you're going to find fantasy and tap into my reality, I want you to get totally naked. I want you to have a ski hat on, some boots, a belt. I want to see the imprint of the belt in your stomach the way you do with a real woman. Like those are the seconds. I'm waiting for this. Here's the name of the strip club.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, it wasn't the Bush Factory. So I said, so I'll give you a lap dance. I'll give you $100. It was a lap dance, $20. I'll give you a lap dance. I'd like one right now, but I want to see you take off your winter coat. And she was like, are you being serious? And I was like, yeah, but I had a bit about it, so I would like to, maybe the bit's off, maybe it's not sexy, maybe it's not. Yeah. But so we did it like right by the door. It wasn't like anywhere. It wasn't even like anywhere intimate. It was right by the door, and she starts giving me a lap dance, and she has a hard time dancing in her coat. Like she's just like, and she's like, I got to take this off. But the second she said, I got to take this off, you saw the person. You didn't see the stripper, you saw the person, right? And I was like, whoa, that's really, like when you see like a person being a person, then that's actually where you fall in love. And I go, that's the fantasy, not the, do you want to suck these titties? That's not real. That's not real. That's not a real fucking
nobody
thing.
Says that.
And by the way, don't suck their titties. Everyone sucks their titties. You're going to get a cold. You're going to get you're going to get a cold. So she takes off her coat. She's like, hold on, let me find a place for this. All regular things that a woman would say, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is like crazy." So then she's like, she's like dancing, and then she goes, "Let me take my shoes off." Like she's talking to me, and she's like, "Hold on, give me a second," and she like bends over, does her shoes, and then she's dancing again, and then she goes to take her shirt off, and she goes, "Oh shit, my bra doesn't match my panties," and I went, "This is the hottest thing I've ever fucking seen," and we were laughing so hard that she sat down for the rest of the song, and we just drank. And she was like, I can't fucking do this. I can't fucking do this. This is way too vulnerable. And I go, that's the thing. That's the fucking thing. That's the, it's, you know, someone told me that guys only go to a strip club to tell hot girls no.
Right. Because they never get to their whole life.
But that was so much better. Was like, it was almost like saying, hey, can I go connect with a person for a little bit?
Right.
Because we laughed so hard. And then the other lap dance I got there that night, I go to, by the way, I definitely won't say the name of the strip club, but I go over to the corner and then this girl, beautiful girl, goes, this one's on the house. And I was like, what? And they go, it's from the management. Thanks for bringing everyone here. Because we also stay at the thing. We'll be at the strip club.
Yeah.
So it's fucking loaded. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, sure. I got a lap dance. I go, so what are the parameters? What are the rules? I just don't want to know. I want to know what's, and she goes, oh, you're famous. There's no rules for you. I was like, what?
Jesus.
She goes, yeah, you're famous. You can do whatever you want. And I was like, okay. And so I fucking FaceTime my buddy Cowhead in Tampa. She goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm FaceTime my buddy. I'm just going to let him watch. She was like, wait, you can't do that. And I went, hold on, you said there was no rules.
There's
she was
no
like,
fucking rules, lady.
all right. And so he's like, hello. And I go, Cowhead, I'm getting a lap dance. I thought you'd enjoy this. He just watched.
She's like, why don't you just suck my tits instead?
Yeah, he's laying in his bed going like, huh? But I think that's the fun of it. Like my wife's totally cool with strip clubs, does not give a fuck. Because the whole thing is like.
Because it's fake.
I'm not going there to replace her.
Well, you're also not going out on a date. You're not doing anything that's like intimate, and it's you ever go to those plays, the interactive plays, like Sleep No More? Do you know what Sleep No More is?
No, I don't know, but I know you mean like the dinner theaters, or like someone's murdered somebody.
Yeah, and you walk through an entire,
I've done that.
like you're not seated, dude. It's their Sleep No More makes one of the best. This one called Drowned Man that I went to in London, and it was wild because they were like, "Are you guys comfortable with?" Touching. The actors may touch you. They may bring you into separate rooms, and like obviously everything is PG-13, but they're just letting you know. And you just say yes, you sign a waiver and all this shit. This woman pulled me into a room, lifted up my mask because you all wear masks, kissed me, and then closed the mask and then pushed me backwards through this thing into this other room. It was the hottest, coolest shit on earth. And my wife was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Do you want to know?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, she lifted up my mask and kissed me and threw me in this other room. And she's like, "Fuck, I want that." And then
I want that too.
Well, then you're like on the hunt, and you're like,
and then you're making out with everyone in the castle.
It was just so fucking. But it's like it's all entertainment. None of it's like you're not taking this home with you. It's just like a moment in time, and it's as fucking minimalistic as it's. You know, a small peck on the lips is like nothing. But strip clubs like that are to me in the same way. It's a joke. It's all a big. We're all in on the play.
Well, there's something to be said for the like. What was there was a live experience that they had in Vegas where I fucking wish I remember the name of this, where they were all on bungee cords coming from the ceiling, and they would punch through there was a paper ceiling. It started off, you sat in a room, everyone's in a room, and there's a paper ceiling, and then all of a sudden, music starts playing, lights starts going on. You don't know what's going on. No one tells you anything about this. LaGuardia, I think it was like LaGuardia or something.
Not
And
the
then all of a sudden,
airport.
someone jumps through. They're on a bungee cord from the ceiling. They jump down. They grab someone in the audience and they take them off into the fucking things. And you're like, what the fuck? It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And the whole time, they're running on the walls. They're jumping from the ceiling. They're all on bungee cords. And I remember he grabbed someone from the fucking audience and lifted him out of the room. And I went, it was fucking insane. But you're right. There's something very primal. It turns it into like, hold on, what is this? Like, that's what I got to be honest with you. I remember feeling that when I first saw stand-up and you watched brilliant crowd work and you were like, dude, this guy's just fucking talking? Like, how do you get your, I remember it was the first time seeing Chappelle and going like, how does he get his brain to do that?
Yeah.
You're right. I wish I could add that into my fucking act.
You may. What about, by the way, speaking of Chappelle, have you seen Ingram, one of our good buddies, comedy star Rick Ingram, open for those guys?
He's opening for Chappelle, and
he does crowd work the whole time, and they follow him with a camera so the audience can see who they're talking to. Yeah, it's like super. I mean, I don't know if they're doing it at every venue, but from what I know, I just was texting with Rick, and he basically like, because the crux of what Rick Ingram does, if you don't know who that is, look him the fuck up. He's incredible.
He's fucking brilliant.
He's one of the fastest, sharpest, and also well-formatted live joke writers. Like, he's doing crowd work, but he's also formulating the jokes as he goes. And they'll have a camera where they show who he's speaking to, so there's relevance. Because, dude, in the venues you play, same as those guys, people can't fucking see who you're talking to. It's impossible. When you're like, look at this fucking guy, 16,000 people are like, what? Where?
I'm say this. I'll say there's a couple people, Rick Ingram, Ian Bag.
Yeah,
there's a
Bag
couple
is
people
great
that when
too.
they do crowd work, it's not bullshit crowd. Like if I do crowd work, if you see me do crowd work, it's bullshit crowd work.
Yeah.
It's me asking you a question I have a joke for.
Right.
It's not real crowd work.
It's a setup.
Yeah.
Like I'm setting you up to set me up.
Hey man, do you eat pussy? Oh, I do too. I like to go.
Let me tell you my favorite thing about eating pussy, and then off into the bit.
Yeah, it's but like, I get excited for Rick Ingram because it sounds silly that like, I was like, yeah, one of the good guys won. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because he's been at it for a long time.
And then you see him on these things. I saw him in a picture in a suit on stage with all those guys, and I think a billy goat or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, shut the fuck. Like, finally, someone's recognizing like those guys. I mean those guys because sometimes you'll see them pick guys and you're like, oh yeah, they're all their friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you see that, you're like, oh, they saw him perform and they were like, that guy's fucking brilliant.
I think what the story goes that Rock saw him, a few times at the store and was like, this motherfucker is what a great unique act. Like, you bring out, I mean, props to you seriously, because you bring out so many fucking people on the road with you, like talented people that you give platforms to and show off. So I think some guys. Look, and it's no criticism against people that don't bring out anybody, but it's huge, man. Like, it's supporting the game, the community, the thing.
Well, I was the opposite for a long time. You know that.
You never brought people out.
Never brought anyone out because I thought our job was to foster local talent. So I was like,
that's beneficial too.
It is, but it's such a fucking shit show.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.
And you're never going to know what you're going to get. And you're walking into a scenario where usually you're walking into a fucked up comedy scene where everyone's fighting for the weekend with you. And so all of a sudden there's this bunch of this infighting where everyone's talking shit and then there's drama and then you're in the bar at the end of the night and comics are fucking fighting and they're yelling and you're like, whoa, I don't want this in my life.
Fuck the drama.
And then sometimes you walk in and they're fucking cunts and they're like trying to blow you off stage and they're doing all local material and you're like sitting there going, hold on. Like, what? Am I the asshole? You're going long, you're selling merch in the middle of your fucking feature set? And then
buy a shirt in the middle of Bert's show. Go to the lobby, buy a shirt, come back.
And then there's the sweet spots where like I met Dave Williamson in Miami.
Yep.
I met
He's the fucking best.
Shane Torres. I met Shane Gillis in Philadelphia. I met Shane Torres in Portland. I met Jesus Trejo out in Oxnard.
So dope.
So sometimes when you foster local talent, you find the dudes that are your ride or die. Steve Fury I met out in Oxnard.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, these guys got really great comic insights. And you're like, oh yeah, please come out on the road with me. If I can bring someone and they can, and then you get some fucking total cunts. Like, dude, the biggest cunt move is when the guy calls the club and he's like, hey, I usually open for Bert. and I'm going to be in town. Is it cool if I host for them? And then you're like, and then they're like, oh, sure. And then and then the club calls you and they're like, hey man, we got ... to open for you. And you're like, oh, cool. I know that guy. And then you don't realize he's working your weekends. Yeah. So, and then you're like, God, you're opening for me a lot. And he's like, oh, I mean, the club requested me. You're like, oh.
I don't like when they play each other behind each other's back. They go, he said he already reached out to you. That's the fucking
it's the same guy.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
It's the same fucking guy. By the way, speaking of dickhead, and I don't remember his fucking name, and I wish I did because I'd call him out. But when I did a weekend before I deserved it in Ybor City in Tampa Improv.
I know his name. I know his name.
This dude who was there, dude, look, I was a young comic.
I know his name.
I was a young comic. I was a fucking wet behind the ears. And dude, look, when you first start doing those rooms, you're so nervous and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not kidding when I say this. I couldn't, this sounds fake. As he's doing his local bullshit, and as he brings me on stage, I am not kidding, Bert. He shook my fucking hand, and then he goes, follow that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it didn't even shake me.
Do you want me to say his name?
Sure, if you want to. Go ahead.
I feel bad. I mean,
it's up to you if you want. I don't remember his fucking name.
I know his name.
You know who he's talking
Yeah.
about. Anyway, that fucking cocksucker, it enraged me. I still had a great set, but I thought, what a fucking cunt. What a dickhead move to try to get in my head as I go on stage. Because he looked at me like, you're just some asshole from LA who can't fucking do an hour. And of course, even though I was a young comic, had a great fucking set, ripped, did well.
Yeah.
Oh, that killed me, dude. That irked me.
Yeah, that's...
And I had to be alone. That's the problem. I couldn't bring anybody. So it's me and this dickhead. He doesn't talk to me after the show. So I'm,
by the way,
you know,
this business used to be littered with those people. And I'll give you a story. I'll let you feel better about that story.
Yeah.
That same guy worked with me one weekend. And he said to me, he said, and I worked with him. I got put with him so much that I became friends with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's actually a really good guy. He really is a good guy. It's just, he couldn't get past the fact that we were being brought in and he was there. Why wouldn't he do it in the weekend? And he came up to me and he said, I just don't get it. I don't understand why I'm not further in the business. And I said, I'll tell you why. Instead of coming in and fostering friendships with all of us, you combated with all of us.
Yeah.
And now none of us want to help you. Yeah. None of us want to work with you because you make it difficult. And I'm at a place now where I go, you're not that, because when you're young and you go in and it's intimidating, they crush and it's all local shit. And you're like, and then I go, you could have just been really fucking cool. You still were going to work. You could have bombed and you're an alcoholic and they still work you. and you could have been cool and then you could work with all of us. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. Like it happens for people. It happens for people. But I'm trying to think of think of the names I just said. Dave Williamson, I met him in Miami, and he just was like, he's funny as fuck.
Cool dude.
He could have just fucking done all local Miami shit, put the gas on and buried me, and he didn't. He was like, hey, you want to get lunch tomorrow? And you're like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I know a great place. You know, I live down here, I'll pick you up. And you're like, oh, cool. And then all of a sudden you make friendships for life. Shane Torres, to this day, I remember working with him and he was like, you're friends with Segura, right? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, can I tell you my favorite Segura joke? And I was like, please. And this is, by the way, when Segura and I were we were barely headlining.
Right.
And he told me a Segura joke and I fucking lauged. And then I was like,
a Segura joke?
Yeah. Segura's joke was, and keep this in. He goes, it was when Segura was doing crowd work with a girl who was dating a black guy. And he said, where are you from? And he goes, Manchester. He goes, no, I mean a real black guy. The guy that grabs his dick and licks his lips. And I thought I laughed so fucking hard. I laughed so hard. It's so Tommy.
Yeah, it's very Tom.
Because he grew up in South Florida.
Yeah.
So like he played fucking football. So he only grew up with like that black dude. So when he talks to like the guy that does F1, that's not the one he's talking about.
yeah.
So Shane and I became friends. Shane's like, you want to go to strip club after this? We went to the one in Portland. There was one right down the street, the Fairmount Lounge. Fairmount Lounge,
yeah.
And we went down there and we hung out. I think Amy Schumer came down there, met up with us. She had Mark Norman with us. Mark Norman went back to my hotel room, cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Meet Mark Norman, become friends with him. Shane Gillis I went and did Philly. This is when I used to do the Call Sick to Work show. And I was like, I came in. I was like, I've been drinking on stage. Let's start on radio. We used to do shows. For those of you who don't know, I'd go and do radio. I'd drink on radio. Courtney Love was there that morning, and I got fucking wasted on radio. Then I went right to the club, and I'd start drinking at the club. Everyone would show up at like 10 in the morning, start drinking, and then the show would happen at like 11:30 noon. And I got there at 10. I was like, said to Shane, I was like, let's start drinking. Now listen, Shane could have very easily, everyone knows how funny he is now, but he could have very easily been like, nah, I think I'll just blow you off stage. But instead he was like, fuck it. And we got wasted. And he was like, I bombed my ass off. Like, and he didn't give a fuck about that show. He gave a fuck about meeting the headliner and hanging out with the headliner.
Right.
We partied all fucking day and we're friends to this day. I mean, like those are the guys that fucking make, do you think Rogan remembers anyone that tried to blow him off stage? No. It was the guys like us who just went up and did what we did, and we kind of fucking floundered at times, or we did good, and he didn't give a fuck. He was like, you're a good guy. Those guys never got it. And thank God I was never one of those.
Well, you cared more about because you cared more about having fun and making the world of performing fun. Because when you do that, someone said that the other night, when it becomes too much of a job, when it's too much of a job, you're not doing comedy anymore. When it's just a job, when it's like, this is a gig, it's like, well, then it's not comedy. Then it's like saying you're a machinist. It's like, well, this is, like, I used to say this to my old man a lot. My dad used to travel out here because his second job, the second half of his career, because the first one he got fucked, he got fired, it was insane. And he took this other gig, and they were based here in Newbury Park, which is like way West Valley. Yeah. And he would come in and I'd be like, hey, let's meet the fuck up. You're in Chicago. I never see you. Like when you come out here, and he'd be nervous because he's like, I'm pulling all-nighters with these fucking guys and they're making me work late and blah, blah, blah. And I was always like, this is your life too. Like that was a big thing for us for him to reconcile. I was like, Dad, this is your life. Like, I'm your son. I live here. Yeah. Sometimes fuck the thing. Sometimes fuck it. So of course he was like, yeah. All right. Where are you? And I was like, meet me at Morton's. There was a Morton's in like Westlake Village or something like that. Yeah. I go, don't drive, because he had a company car. I said, meet me at fucking Morton's. I Uber out to fucking Morton's, way out in Westlake. He Ubers there from his little, and we sat by the girl who plays piano at Mastros.
Yeah, I know that one.
Mastros.
Yeah.
And we sat by the girl that played the piano, and we got fucking ripped. He didn't even need a steak because he was drunk singing with the girl. And of course, he's like, she's the most beautiful singer I've ever seen. I'm like, Dad, this is like my dad's strip club. Mastros, the singer, is like his titty bar. Yeah. He's like, I'll take her home. I'm like, you're fine, dude. Just chill out. He was singing with her. And I swear to God, he might have put $300-$400 in her fucking tip jar because he was like, she's the most talented singer I've ever seen. I'm like, dude.
I've done that so many times.
Where you're like,
I've hired bands to open for me. I'll be like, you're fucking amazing.
But that was it. I was like, dude, this is your life. That's why like when I go, my boy that you're talking about, your version, Chris O'Connor and I became, and him and Shane are really good friends, both, Philly together. And Chris and I met on the road in Indianapolis, and dude, it sparked, I would say he's probably my best friend in comedy now. And we met like that on the road. He was cool as fuck. Yeah. And I was like, you want to go to St. Elmo's and, go get a steak and da-da-da. And then he was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, you want to go out? Fuck yeah. End of the night ended in a weird way. We went to a couple bars. We were with a local cop who I'm not gonna say his name, but we ended up going out, and then they blacked out so hard they took my Uber home, and I got a bill the next day for him and his buddy puking in my fucking Uber. I got a cleaning fee. I immediately texted. I was like, hey man, what the fuck happened? Did you fuck your buddy in my Uber? He was like, oh, bro, I'm so sorry. We threw up all over the fucking Uber. Because they were just pounding them. And I was like, it's fine, dude. Just Venmo me the fucking $500 cleaning fee. Oh, my God. Dude, it's $250 per person. They both threw up in this thing. No, I was like, no.
It should be more. It should be more.
Yeah, it should be more. It should actually, puking in an Uber should cost you $1,000.
It's disgusting.
That's somebody's car.
Puke on. I'm not.
No.
You got to be careful though, because if you're a young comic, like I worked with one dude. I hope he hears this, and I don't remember his name. Okay. I worked with him in Madison, Wisconsin, and
Comedy on State.
Yeah, and he was fucking hilarious. He was so fucking funny. So talented.
Yeah.
I want to tell you one of his jokes, but I don't, only because then everyone will find that guy and go, yo, bro, they're talking about you. But it was really great writing, really great personality, big drinker, big partier. And we went out in the afternoon, we went and took a walk, and we found a cigar bar. And I was like, hey, let's go have a cigar. And he was like, okay. So we sit down and have a cigar, and they're like, you guys want a whiskey? And I was like, I wouldn't mind a whiskey with a cigar. Now, I don't ever drink. I mean, I'm trying to lose my absolutes. I don't normally drink before a show. I don't like to get drunk and then go on stage.
Same.
But I will have, like, if we're in New Orleans, I'll go out and get a little lit in the afternoon, early afternoon, and then take a nap, do the show that night.
Yeah, everybody does it.
And in this scenario, I liked this kid. I thought he was really talented. We had a cigar, we had a whiskey. They came around, we had a second whiskey. That's the best one. Yeah. When it starts getting a little warm in your face, and you're like, okay.
You're moving different.
Yeah. And then I was like, I think I'm going to head out. I want to take a nap because I do want to work out before the show. He was like, I'm going to have one more whiskey, and then I'm going to fucking bounce. I was like, cool. And we get to the Medicinal State, and he just never showed up.
What the fuck? He just bailed?
He got hammered and fucking... By the way, I've had a couple. That's happened to a couple people.
Wait, they just got too fucked up?
Yeah. And I just was like, because I think sometimes you can get... I have a theory that you can get lost in the branding of me. That like sometimes you go, oh, it's Bert.
He won't care.
Or like he's doing the same thing, not realizing that like it's not an accident that I'm working. Like I'm definitely busting my ass, and I have rules that I follow. That I don't like to get fucked up before a show. I like to go on stage sober. I like to have a drink when I tell the Machine story on my second show. Like I have certain rules because that's how the business runs. So you have to have rules for your business. I like to work out before I go on stage. I like to take a nap during the day. I mean, like certain things that I go. That's how I know I operate optimally. And sometimes, man, you'll get guys that are like, especially if like one of my favorite things in the world to do is they go. And I don't do this a lot. I don't do it anymore at all because I can't. But when you go like San Francisco and you're like, oh, they're playing a baseball game at like noon.
Oh, yeah.
1:30. And you're like, oh, let's go to the ball game.
We can do it.
Fucking cold beers. Have a few cold beers, cheap seats, get a little sun.
Yeah.
That'll be fucking great. And then you do it. And then one guy gets arrested. And you're like, there goes my feature. You're like, dude, you couldn't hold it together for fucking a baseball game?
Like, dude, it was a day game. I'm annihilated. Speaking of, by the way, side note, one of my worst strip stories was my buddy in San Francisco in like Chinatown, one of those like shady little strip clubs. He goes, I'm going to buy you a dance, but they have to take you in a private room. And I was like, look, dude, I'm not into I'm just letting you know, I don't want anything funky. If this is going to be like a tug off or a suck off, I'm not into that shit.
Yeah.
He's like, no. They just have to do one-on-one dances in rooms. That's just like this is a small little thing. Okay, fine. So he buys me a dance, and this girl is like, she's like, you want me to rub on you? And I was like, oh yeah, you could dance, yeah, let's whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding, dude. She grabs, it looked like a water pipe like coming out of the ceiling. She grabs it and lifts herself up and has her feet on my lap and is rubbing my cock with her fucking feet.
What city was this?
But I was like, oh no, I'm cool. Thank you, I'm cool. I just want like a regular dance.
Wait.
She was like, she just kept doing it. But dude, I was more impressed. At some point, I backed out of my like, oh, you're rubbing my cock with your feet. Like I was on my jeans.
Yeah.
But like at some point, I realized this bitch is holding herself up with one arm, rubbing my cock. I was like, the acrobatics was impressive.
All right, 2 quick stories.
Yeah.
South Africa, into a strip club. And they walk into the lap dance. They go, full touch or no touch? I go, who the fuck does no touch? I go, full touch, definitely,
dude.
Right? We get there. She goes, take your pants off. I go, no touch. I didn't know you were touching me. I'm sorry. My bad. No touch.
No touch.
So the second one is we go to the Banana Room in Amsterdam. You ever been there?
No.
So we're flying to Tanzania to go do Travel Channel. I'm with my camera woman. Her name's Lara, or whatever. One of those Lara. And we get stranded in Amsterdam. We get our connecting flight. We miss our connecting flight. So we have 24 hours in Amsterdam. So I say, hey, what do you want to do tonight? She goes, we're checking into the hotel. She goes, I'm hungry. I said, okay, how about this? Soft pitch. Steak dinner. We go to a coffee shop, get high, steak dinner, smoke a joint on our way back, whiskey, go to sleep. She's like, deal.
Done.
She goes, actually, this is going to sound weird, and I know we work together, but I wouldn't mind going to the Banana Room. And I just shot a series for Showtime We all did stand up, but I went to Amsterdam and worked and did like all the venues or whatever there. It was a series. I don't know, you got to find it. And so I knew the dudes at the Banana Room. It's a place where the girl puts a banana in her pussy. She peels it with her pussy. She like breaks it open. You know, you can break the tip, breaks it open, and then puts it in her pussy, peels it back, and you eat the banana out of her pussy. And so I knew that.
And they say America's the greatest country in the fucking world. We don't got no Banana Room here, baby. What are our soldiers fighting for if we can't have a Banana Room?
She puts ping pong balls in her pussy
And
shoots
pops
them
them out
across
at
the
you.
room.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
The girl's amazing. So
Skilled.
so I said, I can tell you where it is, but I don't think I can go with you. She was like, well, I'm not going by my fucking self. And I go, well, it's a weird work dynamic. Like, technically I'm a producer on this show, an executive producer.
Yeah,
so I can't like go with you. And she goes, here's the deal. I want to do the banana thing. So just go with me. I want to do the banana. I want to see it. I want to see how.
I thought you meant she wanted it.
No. She went. I go. I want to see her do the banana thing. I want to eat the banana. I want to do the banana thing. I've heard about this.
Yeah.
My husband did it, and I was like, okay. So we go to the Banana Room, and as I walk up, they're like, the Machine, and I was like, what's up, guys? And they're like, dude, you're back. So good to see you. Whatever their accent is, and I go. So I'm with my work friend, and she wants to do the banana experience thing, and they go, of course. Bring the best girl. So we bring this girl. She's beautiful. You're at a bar, like a peninsula bar, right? That's attached to the wall and kind of attached to a strip where they'd all walk.
Right.
So they're standing on the tables technically, and the girl sits down and sits crisscross applesauce, totally naked. She goes, okay, 3-part experience. We got the banana, and I go, she wants to do the banana. She goes, we got the full body massage with oil. And I go, huh? She goes, you massage my whole body with oil. We put oil on my body and you rub it to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I said, I think we're going to pass on that one. She goes, and then I got the facial massage. I go, oh, facial massage? She goes, yeah, it's a full facial massage. It's very nice. I said, well, why don't you do the banana? I'll do the full facial. And she goes, okay. And so I go, so where do we start? She goes, well, we start with the full facial massage. Lay back on the table on your back. And I went, so I get on the table, on my back, all the way back. I close my eyes. I'm fucking high as shit. I'm thinking, how nice is this going to be? And she puts her pussy on my nose, asshole on my mouth, and starts grinding. And I'm going, and all I can hear is my camera woman going, you thought it was a massage. You thought it was a massage. I thought it was a fucking like rub your face and Reiki. No. She just fucking rubbing her pussy on my fucking face, trying to give me pink eye. Oh fuck! I laughed so hard.
Did she do the banana though?
She did the banana.
She did the fucking banana.
Awesome. Yeah.
God bless you, banana.
Well, I'm going to Amsterdam. I'll be in Amsterdam in like 3 weeks.
I've never played Europe, and I want to go so bad.
Real?
I've been there a bunch. I've never played. Every time it is going to happen, something happens. Where like I was filming Dave, and then I was filming this movie, and then I just couldn't go, and so I felt bad. So now I'm like, I need a gap of time when I can actually go to Europe and do like London run, Scotland, Ireland,
month. You know? Full month.
Yeah, I want a big run.
You got to hit Greece, you got to hit Berlin, hit Portugal.
Yeah.
Like you got to, because those, I mean, look, here's the thing. The sweet spot is going to be UK, Ireland. That's the sweet spot. Yeah. You could do, technically you can do the UK and be in and be out, and you'll have a great fucking experience.
But I want to travel too then, you know,
well,
if you're there.
Oslo, Copenhagen, like that run is through Scandinavia, like Sweden, Denmark, Copenhagen, whatever. I don't know. I can't remember what's the city and what's the country up there. But then that's great. Antwerp, Amsterdam, that's fucking great. Amsterdam's great. And then when you start getting into the Berlin, Athens, Portugal, like that's. But I mean, I gotta be honest with you. The first time I did it, I would have bailed on. I wouldn't have bailed on any of it because I kept a lot of it in. I bailed on what I would have bailed on. But like what was great was like baths. I don't know that my touring, but like Manchester, fucking sick.
All over England.
England's the shit.
Yeah.
England's the shit. It really is. Scotland, Glasgow is pretty fucking amazing. Really amazing. But England, London's New York, so it's going to be what it is. Yeah. But when you get outside in there, like, Birmingham, Manchester, Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin is...
Dublin's next level.
We were just in there. We were in Ireland, and of course, like, a bunch of people were like, Santino, you're playing a show. And I was like, no show. And they're like, why are you here? And I was like, to visit. And they're all like, okay. Like they're annoyed. They're like, you don't get to go anywhere if you're not fucking doing a show. I was like, we're just on fucking vacation.
We went to the bar across the street from the venue. I told everyone at the venue, I said, I'm going next door to the bar.
Yeah.
I'll be drinking there. If you want to come over and say hi or take a picture, I'll be there. I used to do that. I used to do that. It was so problematic. I used to do that everywhere I went. I would just, as soon as I get done, we'd pick a bar first. We'd usually pick it. My tour manager would pick it, and it would be a dive bar, but not like a tiny dive bar, cool dive bar, like a really bad bar.
Like a piece of shit.
Yeah, and or really close, whatever we could walk to.
Yeah.
And so we picked the bar in Ireland, right across the street from the venue, and it was so packed that they were 12 deep on the sidewalk. And I don't even know what the rules are, but everyone was drinking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I couldn't even make it into the bar. And by the time I got into the bar, it was fucking chaos. And when I got up to the bar to I got a Guinness, the bartender goes, "You get the fuck out!" And I go, "What did I do?" And he goes, "You made this fucking happen. Get the fuck out!" And I go, "What?" He goes, "I don't need your business. Get the fuck out!" Like he was like, "We were having a good night,
Yeah.
and you ruined
They're
it."
gonna give you $20,000 tonight. He's like, get them. Actually, those dive bar guys want it to still be a dive bar.
Yeah,
they
they don't
want to make the money.
Dude, I have that, and that's almost like the coolest bar you go to.
Yeah.
Is when they're like, "I don't give a fuck about money.
Get the fuck
These
out."
are my regulars, and
Yeah.
now they're fucking crammed up against the wall."
What do you think? I opened a bar to make a living? Fuck off. It's for me and my friends that get shit faced at.
Oh,
Yeah, no. Would you ever, by the way, own a bar?
I was thinking about that yesterday.
Because you, of all fucking people, why would you not? Bert's Bar, baby. Bert's is such a great name. Are you guys going to Bert's? That's a great name for a bar.
It's a great bar. I wanted to open a bar called Rickshaws.
Okay.
On
Let's save that for Bobby Lee.
on open it on Ventura and just have a bunch of rickshaws outside, right?
Okay.
Like 5 rickshaws.
Okay.
It's always parked in the loading zone. 5 rickshaws, really nice ones too.
Okay.
Old school where the dude runs it.
Yeah, real rickshaws.
And then the rule, real rickshaws. And then the rule is, if you live within like half a mile or a mile, we will rickshaw you to and from. All you got to do is call us.
That's pretty brilliant.
And so then people will be like, "You guys want to go to rickshaws tonight?" I go, "Yeah, call them up. Hey, you guys got room for 2?" And you're like, "Oh, we'll be there in 10 minutes." And then you get in a rickshaw and you can get back and forth. I just thought it was like the coolest idea. I was thinking about that yesterday. Yesterday I was driving through. You look at all these places that have vape shops, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if you could open a bar or a comedy club bar. Like if you could open up, I wouldn't mind opening up a small, very small. Like I often think about like how much it would cost to buy the Ha-Ha.
10.
I would love to own a dive bar, like John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd did.
Yeah.
That. I would love if Tommy still lived here, it would already be happening because his business brain is so fucking quick that like the second I bring something to him, he turns around and brings something 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, you want to do that? Hold on, let me do my magic." We'd already own one, but I would love to own a little dive bar. It would have to be close to my house, so it's going to be in fucking the Valley.
What's wrong with that? The Valley's the fucking best.
Yeah, Pat's is a pretty great bar already, though.
Pat's is great.
Pat's, it's a Packers bar.
No, I don't like it anymore.
I know, they just paint it outside. They're like home of the Packers, and you're like, that's an odd
How?
mix.
Yeah, no.
Pat's is a great bar. Pat's used to be the local bar for all the black actors and comedians.
Wait, what do you mean?
That
Like that was their spot.
That was their spot. That's where they would go party. And so when you'd go in, you would see, I'm talking like everyone who was working, anyone that was on Black Panther was there. Like it was fucking everyone. And you go in, that was like every night you go there, and I'd run into someone who was in like the MLK movie or fucking like just so. But Pat's is cool. I used to live I literally lived like catty corner from that. I would go there all the time.
Not anymore. You can't do it. You're too big to just go out to meander at bars now.
No, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
But when you go to local bars, do you not get harassed?
No.
You don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
I'm trying to think. I haven't been to a bar.
So I'm saying you probably don't go out to bars anymore.
I don't go out often now. I mean, now that I think about it, like on tour, it's been kind of chaotic, and the venues we play are usually very isolated in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
and so so there's not local bars around there. We went to a bar with Sean Patton in
love Sean
in Fairmont in Chicago. Rosemont.
Oh, Rosemont.
In Rosemont. Yeah, we did the Rosemont thing.
Rosemont Horizon? Or
Yeah.
what do they call it now? They call it something else.
I don't know. But we did that. and Sean Patton was at Zany's. Zany's is like right next door.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know that when we went to this great tiki bar and Sean Patton was there and ended up partying with Sean Patton. And no one harassed us. Me and Sean talked the whole time. His features were with him. We just all hung out. It was fucking great.
That's the burbs. That's why it's great. You go down to the city, you're fucked.
Probably.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
In Chicago's a different story.
Well, I think I've sold myself as the guy to be fucked. It's like I'm
100%,
like come hang out with me, come talk to me, come meet me. I don't mind that. I've never minded that, so I always enjoyed it. I was saying it today. Like I enjoy the trappings of this.
Yeah,
like the fun of it, the like people being nice to you. I enjoy that almost more than the money. To be dead honest with you,
you like the culture.
I love the fucking that someone's nice to you for no reason at all. That you like walk up and they're like today, this guy just walked into. I was getting my medication at Rite Aid over on Riverside, and he just walked up and he's like, "Oh, dude, I fucking love you." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." He's like, "Man, you make me laugh so hard, man." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." He's like, "Keep doing what you do." And then I was like, "Oh, cool." No one does that to other people in this world.
No, yeah.
No one like walks up to a fucking cop. Well, dude, I fucking love you.
Well, especially not a cop. Dude, I fucking hate you, dude.
I mean, but it's like I actually got in my car and I was like, that was really nice. But I love I should buy a bar.
I highly encourage it. Of all people that I think could work out for you, it would. Especially because I don't think you would be in it to make this. It wouldn't be a big business venture like LA is, where in LA, New York, any big city, it's so hard to make a successful restaurant or bar. For you, it would be something that would be more like a fun hobby to just break even on. You know what I mean?
How great. And so what if I did what the Viper Room was for young Hollywood, I do for Old Hollywood in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it for like dads who are in the business, a bunch of grips and fucking and a bunch of cameramen.
I think that's
who are like, gives like, oh, this is a good place to drink. You know, it's good whiskey. He's got like, what would be your catch though? So like if you open a bar, soft pitch, if you open a bar, where would you like? You'd want to offer just a little bit more. Like obviously we could do stand up there, but I think we take away from the fun of just going there and disappearing.
Yeah, I'd want it to be more fun than have that other element. I want it to be just kind of a getaway.
Would you have high-end whiskeys? What would be your...
If it was up to, like, if I could have it, it is not feasible financially, but every single week would be featuring like one brand of whiskey and all of their different like subsets, right? Like the brand and then all their different makes and models, and every year from the cheapest to the most high end, you know, like, or once a month you could do this, I guess. So people come in and they can get the lowest end or they could get the most fucking fancy shit. And you know, with all that comes along with it. Like,
wow, that's so funny. Our brains work so differently. I thought you were going to say I get high-end bartenders, like a celebrity bartender every week.
We can do that too.
Yeah, you get a celebrity bartender and maybe the tips go to charity. So you get a bar where everyone's like...
We keep the tips.
Oh, yeah.
We're keeping the fucking tips.
Yeah, I wonder if you can make much money on booze. Probably, right?
Yeah, dude.
You'll water it down.
Yeah. My buddies own 2 bars on Water Street in Milwaukee, and they were super successful, and they finally got out, but those guys were like, owning a bar is so fucking...
I'd want to own a beer garden. A beer garden.
Beer garden's tight.
Do a beer garden where you could smoke weed, and I serve, like, chicken wings.
Uh-huh.
I love chicken wings.
You do.
Like, what do you love off of a menu? And let's serve pizza. I love pizza.
Pizza, but it's got to be pretty good. For me, bar food always is wings.
Wings?
I mean, but I love a good bar burger, but wings over bar burger, onion rings, I really want. Matzo sticks are a big clutch, and if the place has bomb nachos, Papa's getting a big plate of fucking nachos.
What if you open a bar called Starters and it's just apps?
Just starters? Oh my God, let's do it! That's fucking brilliant. No main courses, just starters.
Just
no
starters.
Salads, no soups, no entrees.
And every week you bring in new starters.
New starters. Holy shit.
I love
I'm
it.
done. I'm sold.
I actually, now that you say that, I might look into buying a bar. Because my wife's buying houses right now. That's her thing.
That's her game.
She is She is not flipping them. She's just simply acquiring them.
Just let him
She's
cook.
building a portfolio. and so she but it was kind of my we got into a fight right before I came here.
God bless.
She wants to buy we bought a house to do the podcast out of.
Yeah, you told me that, right?
And then she wants to buy the house next to it because it's for sale.
Holy shit.
And so I was like, well, hold on. I was like, I don't know. And we had just had a big team meeting and I was like, hey, baby, I got 5 fucking minutes. I got to get over to Santino's. I got 5 fucking minutes, okay? So if you can make this happen, make it happen quick. And she goes, I'm all the guts. You're all the fucking glory. Do you understand that? She goes, you get all the fucking glory. We're all busting our ass around you, but you're the one they celebrate, okay? Well, give it to the guts. And I was like, and I literally was like, that makes so much sense. She wakes up at 6 a.m, gets girls to school, cleans the kitchen, does all the shit. And then her side hustle is she wants to acquire properties and she's been very good at it. And she wants this one to rent out. And she was like, I'll buy it. I'll know that it's right next door to us. So they don't need to know that we own the house next to it. I'll buy it and I'll rent it out. And I get panicked 'cause I don't really understand money totally. So I'm like, is this a good fucking investment? Like, is this and then I was like, I want to bring, because I don't have any offers to invest. I don't have
Right.
I don't have anything to say to like, what about this or what about that? I just go, no. And then she goes, yes. I go, okay. So I don't have any counter offer of what if we invested, but if we invested in a bar, there's no way she's letting me invest in a bar.
Come on, starters.
Starters.
We're making starters. Cheers to starters. Let's make starters. I want to make it.
Nice outdoor fucking, people can smoke weed.
Yeah, we got to have more outdoor space than indoor space. By the way, my dad always said that. He'd come to LA, he's like, how the fuck does this city have more indoor space than outdoor space? You're spending the time outside all year round. I never got it. Some of my favorite bars, I'm like, why can't I go outside? COVID did that. It helped a lot where they expanded patios.
Yamashiro up at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And Yamashiro is now outdoors. I took my daughters to eat there. I hadn't been there forever. Took my daughters to eat there before we went to some fucking play or whatever. And there was outdoor seating. And I was like, oh, why hasn't this been here forever?
I know.
This is the most beautiful view in Los Angeles.
It was the best thing COVID did was make us get outside.
Outdoor space, find it, zone it, buy it. You got to buy it.
Yeah, you got to buy it.
You got to buy it because you want to own it. Because then once you own it, then you're just making money on money.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so ready? 5 comics that you buy a bar with. Like if we were going to start a corporation and all buy a bar. Now here's the catch. Can't include Rogan. Can't include anyone that doesn't live here.
Okay. That's so funny. Nobody here drinks anymore.
I know, me, you.
Yeah, me and you.
Can't go do Theo. Can't do Burr.
No.
Can't do. There's a lot of people you can't fucking do.
Jesselnick probably wouldn't because he doesn't drink enough.
He drinks though.
He enjoys it once in a while, but it's not a part of his culture.
Yeah, but God, he'd be so good at a bar.
Well, you know what?
He's so sexy when you see him sitting at the fucking back bar at the store.
His leather jacket.
And he's just cool. He's always
He's so
sweet.
fuckable, that guy.
He's not. I hate to ruin his career, but he's not the cunt you'd think he'd be. He's the nicest fucking guy in the world.
Yeah, he's so sweet.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, how you doing? How's everything been? How's the road?
And he looks you in the eye when he speaks. He's very slow and calm. So he's listening. I don't know, dude. Honestly, who else in this town could we buy a bar with?
Are we the last drinkers?
Yeah, we're kind of the last ones. If you can think of somebody else, for now, listen up, America.
Okay. Let's tip in.
Starters will be opening in the next year or two.
Let's tip into celebrities. Is there a celebrity we can get involved?
Who's a big drinker celebrity that you know? Does anybody like to party anymore?
No one. Everyone's fucking pussies.
This is like 2 frat guys who are at the house after everybody left, and they're like, I guess we have to clean up.
What the fuck happened to these punks? No. I'm trying to think. No. Nick Swartzen.
It's a bad idea.
Nick Swartzen would be the best to buy a bar.
That'll
with.
backfire.
It'll
really
backfire.
Bad.
It's gonna backfire on all of us one day. Nick Swartzen's in.
He's in. All right, so Miyu Swartzen.
I'm trying to think. No.
No, nobody. Every time I go to somebody, I'm like, no. We could have Marin just run security.
Just check IDs.
Yeah. No.
See, New Yorkers have a better opportunity at this.
Yeah.
Like like Sam Morril, Mark Normand, Ari Shaffir.
They all drink.
They all drink. They're
Yeah.
all fucking fun. What happened to our fucking scene? Did Rogan really ruin it for us? When he left,
COVID and him leaving.
COVID and Rogan leaving.
It was like this dual thing that happened. And then people moved and people left and
Wait. Is it upon us to find the next, like, 'cause you know how, like, I don't mean to say this like this is gonna come out weird, but like, you know, Ari and Bobby Kelly and all those guys that are a little older in the New York scene kind of fostered the like blowing up of like they were like the first ones to call to Rogan and be like, yo, you gotta have Legion of Skanks on, you know? Or they were the first ones to call and be like, you gotta have Mark Normand on, you gotta have like Big J on, you gotta have Shane Gillis on. That was the scene that kind of, and this is obviously a little buzz. So if it sounds like, if you're hearing this and you're like, that's not how that happened, everyone's allowed their opinion. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
But like that, they fostered that scene by really, New York's exploding right now. Huge. And what's crazy is like guys like Bobby, guys like Legion of Skanks, like Shane, like Are You Garbage, like KFC Radio, like Big Cat, fucking Barstool. They're all kind of fostering young talent because, you know, they're doing podcasts and they're in the know. Is it our job to do that in LA? Because what podcasts are left in LA?
Me, you, Bobby's other show.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, this is rude because I know there's other great ones.
No.
Neil Brennan just started a podcast.
I don't mean great. I just mean like size-wise, we're pretty big.
Yeah, and comics that are in the know, that are in the clubs. Neil Brennan just started a podcast called Blocks, but he's going to have a lot of huge celebrities on. But he needs to have young comics on.
Yeah, should.
And so then I guess ultimately you got to be in the clubs every night watching comics and going, you're funny as fuck, like Joe did to Laura Bites.
Yeah, same thing. That's how she broke through.
And he was like, I was with him that night.
Yeah,
we got high as fuck in the back, and we were like, we should go in and watch a little comedy. And we sat down, and Laura just got on stage, and she fucking murdered, and we were crying, laughing. And he was like, "What's her name?" And I was like, "I'll find out." And I went and got it, and then I texted. We both followed her on Instagram, and he DM'd her, and then. But that's Joe. Joe's really good at that. I'm not that great at it.
I try. It's super hard too because everything is severed and you're busy. So
who are the best comics for? I'll tell you, I'll tell you people. I can tell you two people I saw that are not LA, but one is.
Who?
I'm gonna say this. The best comedy special I've seen on YouTube, and all my friends are on YouTube, and I just say this, pull me apart from all of that. I love every single one, but the person who made me laugh the hardest for 48 minutes, Jackie Cation.
Oh, she's so fucking funny.
Her special is a different type of funny. It is a different type of funny. It's an old school funny that, like, for me, it has hints of like Louis Anderson, hints of like Midwest authenticity.
Oh yeah.
She has a chunk about her dad Russ that is so fucking funny when she's talking about her 85-year-old dad Russ.
Yeah.
It is so fucking funny. She is so good.
Oh yeah.
And she's been doing it. You know, here's the real secret sauce to I'm buzzed. I apologize already for what I say. But here's the thing for like guys like me and you, for a white guy,
I'm white.
We're not like we get success later in life usually, or you get it right away.
Yeah.
There's not like a lot of like, and sometimes for women, they get it right away or not at all, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that you love about Bill Burr, I'll just say this, is that he got to kind of like fuck around and find his way, and he didn't get really like great at comedy, for the masses until he was like 45 or something, or 40 maybe.
I would say early 40s, yeah.
Yeah, early 40s. The thing that's brilliant about Jackie is she's been doing it as long as Bill Burr, but now she's just starting to pop, and you see the fucking textured or just original material that is like authentically fucking amazing. It's the best special I've seen. It's so top to bottom one of the fucking hardest hitting specials I've ever seen.
When do you have a special coming out for yourself?
I can't announce it, but next year.
Fucking hiccups.
Yeah. How'd you get hiccups?
That should taken that in. I put an air in my throat.
Derek Stroop.
Derek Stroop?
Do you know him?
No.
Fucking just like Jackie
Young
Kasich.
comic?
Young comic. I just was sent his hour. I don't even think it's on YouTube, to be honest with you. And it's so Derrick Stroop Strup.
All right, look up Derek Stroop.
Fucking
Watch Cation. Also watch. I really love fucking Ari's Jew. I was.
Listen.
Jew was great.
I don't need to promote Ari.
Yeah, he
everyone
doesn't need it.
Everyone knows Ari, Shane Gillis, Mark Norman, Sam Morrell's got a new special. These are all my best friends. I love those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I could sit and promote them all day long, but you've already heard that. I want to tell you someone you haven't heard where you go, oh, shut the fuck up. This guy, Derek Stroop, man, so talented. He reminds me so much of Ron White. But in a different vein, that I was laughing hysterically at him. Jackie Cation, man, she fucking I'm glad I hadn't seen her special before I shot mine, because it would have fucked my head up.
Why?
It's that good.
Damn.
It's that fucking good.
Can you tell me, are you going to put it on Netflix, or are you putting it on somewhere?
It's on
else?
Netflix, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. My next one's on Netflix.
Because I do see people moving away from Netflix now.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I can't believe I didn't notice the business move earlier. I watched Burr's first special on Netflix on YouTube. Someone's like, "Why don't you watch it on Netflix?" And I was like, "Who has fucking Netflix?" I didn't realize everyone did.
Yeah.
And then and it's so easy to watch a special on Netflix. It's so easy. I would literally Jackie Cation. I saw one of her clips. One of her clips was on Instagram, and I thought that's funny. I go, that looks like a special.
Yeah.
So I went to her link in her bio. I clicked it, and then it took me to her special, and I went, oh, I'll watch this. And I watched it, and I was honestly blown the fuck away. I have very seldomly watched an hour of 48 minutes. I think it's 48 minutes. I watched the whole thing sitting in my bed, just watching it, laughing hysterically. So good. It's so good, and it's not dirty, and there's the little bit of like little bit, but not really, but like political stuff at the end, but not really, but kind of.
Yeah.
So it's for everyone, and I love that kind of comedy. Moses Storm special is amazing. He's on HBO Max, I think.
He's super good.
Yeah, but I think
mine's out right now. Well, when this comes out, it'll be out.
On what?
Netflix.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just saw the promo for it.
January 10th.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, everybody's like, why cheeseburger? And I'm like, well, that's the whole point is like for people to see it, to find out why the fuck it's called Cheeseburger. Watch Cheeseburger right now. Watch these specials. Watch out for the new bar that's coming called Starters. Bert, I love you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Brother, I'm so bummed I haven't done this until right now.
I know, I'm mad.
So I'm building a new podcast studio. We're going to be up and running in February.
I'll be there.
I'd love to have
I'll be there. We end the show the same way. Look at that camera. Say one word or one phrase to end the show. It'll be cemented in history whenever you're ready.
Cheeseburger.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.